Aloha, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kind of mind for being a couple minutes late. Is running through our software here and making sure that everything is set up correctly. Bear with us as we try to make sure that we can bring Free on to the live. Let me see. I am live on Facebook. Okay. Aloha. Let's see here. So I want to make sure we share this. I wanted to go live from our page, but for some reason, I couldn't do that. So we are going to go live from my profile and just share it. So join us. Right. Okay. How do I? Oh, invite. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So as I try to bring Free on, and I'm giving him bad direction. Sorry, Free. Hopefully you Free, if you're watching, check your private message and then yeah, click the link and then we'll see if you come on. Hopefully it'll work. So as we're waiting for Free to come on, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody. We are in day 8, I guess, of the campaign, and we're doing really well. Today we crossed the $1,700 mark for Fishing Day with Papa Ray. So thank you so much to everyone, especially since the last time we were live, we were still in the 1,400 range. So this is awesome. Great progress since Saturday. We currently have 49 backers, and I believe we are at $1,717. Let's see. So as we're talking with Free tonight, once we get connected, then we will also be doing Spin to Win. So any backers or any orders that come in through tonight's live as we're talking story, we will add.
Spin to Win!
Free.
Hey, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Is anybody here yet, or
there's let me see. I cannot. Facebook doesn't always tell you like how many people are on. But I was sharing it. Let me see if I can share. It says there's 2 people. Hopefully they'll leave some comments. Hey guys, if you guys are on, can you leave us comments so we know that you're there? Feel free to drop questions or just say hello to Free. We're very grateful for him taking time out of his busy schedule to join us. Let's see. It looks like we have 2 people watching. Let me share in some of the other groups too.
Okay.
Share. Do we have one for Hawaiian Comic Book Alliance? I cannot remember. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Share.
Where should I be? There we go.
Let's see. Share. Hopefully it works.
I'm excited to go to New York.
Oh, me too.
See you guys again. You guys got a booth, huh?
Yes, we do.
Like not Artist Alley, right? Like a booth.
Yeah, we're on the main floor again.
Right on. Do you know where you're at?
I think it's like somewhere in the vicinity of Marvel. Like 2 rows over, I think.
Yeah. Was it the same location as last year?
Not quite the same location. A little bit further towards the front. Like if Marvel's like, if you're looking at Marvel from the front, it's like
Yeah.
to the left of Marvel.
Wow, that's pretty prime location right there.
I know, that's what I said. I was like, oh, okay, right on.
Right, brother. Gotta bring your A game.
I know, right? It's a long 4 days, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, but it's fun though. You know, it's like for me, like when I do San Diego, everybody just kind of zombie, like they're walking towards something, and so if I, you know, I mean, I do pretty good sales, you know, enough to pay for the trip, but a lot of people are just trying to get to Hall H, or they're trying to get their exclusives. In New York, what I found out the past 2 years, literally, it's like New York Minute. When they get in, if they like what they see, they just buy it. They don't look at it like, oh, I'll come back later. They're like, there is no later. You know what I mean? So I'll just get like these 5 things and I'll move on, and they get those 5 things and then do whatever I do. I love New York. I love the East Coast. So
yeah, like last year was the first time we were there as vendors. We had attended once before, but just as, you know, attendees, just kind of checking it out and seeing how nuts the crowd is. And yeah, the Javits Center, they're definitely outgrowing it.
oh yeah, I mean, like it's getting so big now that like they're using all levels. You know, like at the Javits Center, where like you got to go downstairs for this and then upstairs for that, but I don't know. I mean, I think it brings in a lot of money for them, so I don't think the Javits Center is gonna let it go. I think they're gonna try and bid it, you know, until they can't. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're, you know, if you want New York as your venue, that's pretty much the only place that could like accommodate. And it's, I mean, New York itself is pretty crowded, so.
Right.
When Comic-Con is there, is even more nuts.
So where do you guys where do you live? Do you live in Washington?
We live in just outside of DC, so in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like coming from Hawaii, like, you know, you think Washington DC, all you think of is like Redskins. You know what I mean? Like you don't think of where it actually is. And when I moved to the mainland, and I actually drove to New York, I drove to Long Island, and just so happens we stopped by Maryland. And he's like, "Yeah, dude, like right there, that's like Washington D.C." I'm like, "It's in Maryland." So yeah, it's kind of a trip, but yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
like yeah.
No, go ahead.
No. So every time we do New York, because the people that I travel with that bring me there. That I'm featured on their booth, like I'm a featured artist on their booth. Desert Wind Comics, they do like CGCs and all that kind of stuff, like grading, and I don't know I don't know how to really explain what they do, but that's what they do. They go to like John Romita Senior's house, and like to actually his house, and get stuff signed. They'll go to all the like these legendary old school like golden age, silver age creators, and I get to stand there in their houses, and you know, like try to be respectful, try not to drag mud in the house, you know, because like their 80-year-old wives are like, yeah, just watch your shoes. It's like, you know, but coming from Hawaii, we just take our shoes off, right?
Exactly.
Like, no, don't leave them out there. That's weird. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what else to do. So
this is how we do. I love that custom of ours. It took a while for people who, you know, come visit us in our house, like, oh yeah, please take off your slipper at the door, you know. So like if we have people over that have never been here before, we'll be like, oh, just make sure you're wearing your good socks, you know, and wear your puka socks.
Your puka hole socks, your big toes sticking out.
Yeah, because you gotta have my shoes at the door.
So where in Hawaii are you from? Is it Kauai?
Yep, Kauai. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Like that's one of the islands that hasn't had a Comic-Con yet. That really should. Huh?
We did the first one this past year, in June. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, had some. It was the first one. It was thrown by Aaron. Yeah, Aaron Yamasato. He was awesome. A couple of people from Hawaiian Comic Book Alliance was there to support. Sam Campbell came, DJ Calvicani, Swan Kaho'olele, Dwayne Koba, and a couple more. I can't remember everybody, but
I love the fact that you
was
actually say the name correctly. I can't do it. Like Swans something. But all right, I didn't know that they had a Comic-Con. If I would have known, I would have scheduled that in.
Yeah, we'll
But
schedule for next year. I don't know a date yet, but Aaron's thinking around the same time, so probably June of next year.
okay. Well, June is normally like a busy schedule for me.
I believe.
You know, like the summertime, right? Got to make it happen. Got to support the Hawaii. Well, especially like the Comic Book Alliance.
Yep.
When I first started, like I wanted, like I moved to the mainland because there's no comic conventions. There's like anime conventions,
Yep.
but no comic book conventions. And so I couldn't get my work out there in front of people. I couldn't talk to editors. I couldn't talk to other artists that are already in the industry to see what level I needed to be at. So when I moved to the mainland, it was I got a whole new perspective of where I should be. You know what I mean? Like when you're just drawing in your basement, you think you're good enough, and you're standing in line with like other portfolios, and you're looking at all these other artists are just like top notch guys. I'm like, whoa, I need to step up. And so, but what happened was when I left, that's when it got like the industry went to Hawaii, like Amazing Hawaii, the Comic-Con, Honolulu, Maui Comic-Con. I guess what is the one in Kauai called?
Hawaii Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. Hawaii Comic-Con on the Big Island with Mike Sato. Like, so all of these Comic-Cons are there now, right? And the Hawaii Comic Book Alliance with Sam Campos, I gave him the nickname the Godfather of comics in Hawaii, and it kind of stuck because he really was, though. Like back in the days, Pineapple Man was the only comic that made mainstream. And with Sam Campos, for one whole month, and this is true fact, that in Hawaii he outsold Rob Liefeld's X-Force.
Wow.
And back then, that's huge. You know what I mean? Like they're selling millions and millions a month. And so 1 month he outsold Rob Liefeld's. And so, and when he put the Comic Book Alliance together, I was already moved off the island. But after talking to him for a little while, he offered me a spot in the Alliance because he's like, dude, you did what you had to do to bring the Hawaii artists to the mainland, but you still got love for Hawaii, so we got love for you. Yep. So the Comic Book Alliance really helped me out, especially when I'm there. We all get together, we all draw, we all just go eat, So yeah, it's fun. And he just opened up a comic book like arts school. Yeah. And so that's pretty cool.
Kawasaki Art Lab. Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching what they're doing. I had a chance to talk story with him at Kauai Comic-Con. And he was super supportive, like he just like the words that he was giving was very positive. He was like, you know what? The best advice I give anybody, who's coming in the industry is, do the things that you love and work with people that you like to work with, and just find ways to collaborate with them, and keep moving forward. So I found that to be very very true, no matter where you're from, but especially in the Hawaii community, right? It's very it's different, and you don't really see how different until you move to the mainland, and you expect things to be a certain way. Especially when I first moved out here on the East Coast, it was kind of culture shock because I'm used to everybody in Hawaii being like, oh yeah, we all do things together, and over here people look at you like
even your neighbors, it takes years to get to know your neighbors in the mainland.
Yeah.
So, what made you move out to Washington or the East Coast?
Job, yeah, work. Yeah. So
I thought maybe you met John and John was like, yeah, I live in Washington, so move up here with me.
No, I've been living here for a while.
Okay.
Already. Yeah. What about you?
I moved to the mainland because I had a job that I literally had a patch of hair the size of I don't even know, like a silver dollar. Like I was losing a patch of hair from my job. I was so stressed out.
Oh my God.
And my friend Jax Madrox, my business partner in Hawaii, he actually handed me a ticket and said, "You're gonna go move to Vegas. You got 2 weeks. Sell all whatever you have to sell, but this is your plane trip. Like this is your ticket." And so I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." And my friend Chase Webb that I live with here in Vegas, he's like, "Yeah, I got a room. My my job pays for my housing, so I have an extra room. So you're living with me." Like they basically saved my life by moving me out here.
Wow.
So and then while I was here, because I DJ and MC and all that, I was doing that for a little while. I'm still doing that, but not as much. And then I decided I want to do something creative and getting back into comics and comic art. And then that's how I started. But and now we got our project together, and I'm so honored that you even asked me to do a drawing for you, and it turned out really awesome. So
I know, I loved it. I saw that. I like that. I was just like, I don't even know what to tell him to draw. I just know that I wanted you to be on the project, and I was like, you know what? It's what I'm learning is the more freedom I can give my artists, more times the better. Just kind of give them like, this is the kind of look and feel I'm kind of going for, but I really want you to give your own spin. And it was the same thing when I had Napua and Chris, do the coloring. I wanted to have 2 different looks. And I was like, they were like, "What do you want?" And I was like, well, for Chris, I was like, kind of make it like how you did for what is that the one they just did at Sea Life Park with Chris Koanui and Manaka.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but man, I want to do that one. I want to do that convention. Like, I want to see dolphins on draw. So yeah, he did a great job. And I mean, when Napua showed me hers, I was like, wow, both of you are killing me. You know what I mean? My line work was okay, because I mean, for me, like when they put on their colors, it really puts the magic on.
Yeah.
And that's why I like working with the Hawaii people, and both of their styles they're different, they're similar, but they're different. And I doing my line of artwork, it helps when I can go to either one. And I know that I can literally just tell them, do whatever you like.
Yeah.
Don't worry, So it helps. It takes a lot of stress off of me.
Absolutely, yes. That's how I feel too. As I was looking for artists, I was like, oh man, because with me, I'm looking for a portfolio, right? Because I kind of want to get a feel for like your overall style. I mean, every project's going to be different. But like if I'm pretty like confident with your regular style, then I'm not gonna give you like I'm not gonna be picky about it. But like do your thing. Like I chose you for a reason. Your work is there. We might make some kind tweaks, but yeah, it was awesome working with both of them and with you, of course.
Yeah, it's weird, like because I do a lot of comic book style. Like my style is kind of Jim Lee-ish, but not Jim Lee because he's the man. Like kind of, I've taken on some similarities to Ken Lashley stuff, like with my muscle structure and my detail work. Not as good as Ken, but at least he's something to aspire to. But even with that, like I can. If somebody goes, oh, but I want to do like a kid's book or like I want to do a coloring book, I simple down my lines but keep the structure. So I've done children's books before. I've done comic books. I've done still life. I've done all that kind of stuff. So all these different styles. I guess if any artists out there are gonna watch this later on, just try to learn everything. Learn how to draw a tree. And do it different styles, do it 100 different styles. So that way you can always work with whoever is creatively working with you. So like with you, Moana, you're writing and you have a certain look that you're looking for, a certain way of drawing things. And it helps when you can do it like a whole bunch of different styles. So yeah, I mean, like I said, if you've seen Ken Lashley's hip hop stuff, I mean, that's dope.
Like, is it like some of his more recent stuff? I'm in his group, but I haven't like been tracking like I used to be because I've been so busy, trying to run this campaign. But yeah, Ken's like super popular. The Lead Killer is definitely an appropriate name, I think.
Right. I mean, he's always working. So, but
Absolutely.
I mean, so well, his hip hop stuff is more of like what he does for fun, like when he does
Okay.
sketchbook art.
Yeah.
Like he just does it just for the heck of it.
Hmm.
Um, and so I mean, it's really unique. I mean, you wouldn't think of it coming from his normal style, like comic book style. But that dude's been out there for I think he's been in the industry for almost like 25 years now. So
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah, but I mean, again, that's the benchmark we all want to be, right? Just successful in what we do, no matter what we do. I mean, your dresses are amazing, by the way. So come Christmas time, I got to put in my order before it's too late.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
absolutely. Thank you.
yeah.
Right.
So is anybody else watching right now?
Yeah,
I'm
there's
sorry,
like
I'm on my
a
phone.
bunch of people watching. It's showing 3 on this thing, and then there's a couple people joining like off and on in the watch party. So yeah, there's people watching you. Say hello.
Hi, I'm glad you guys are here. So are you recording this so that people can watch it later?
Yep. So it'll show up on the live, just like just like other lives.
Oh, okay. So can I give a shout out right now then?
Absolutely.
Okay. So everybody in Hawaii, like Jax Madrox, Stacy, that's my crew out in Hawaii. The New Extreme crew, that's the guys that I work with whenever I do shows. Jax, Stacy, Quan, Jackie, like everybody out there. I mean, Hawaii is such a great market for people show love out there, and especially because we all grew up together, right? So, and like sometimes when you're feeling in the mainland, like when you move to the mainland, sometimes you feel like you're disconnected. No matter what, sooner or later, somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, give me a call." Like, screw this tech stuff. Give me a call. And so, you actually get to talk to people, and even talking to you, Mona, like I can actually like hear the whole ride. You know what I mean? Local style. So, how long have you been living in Washington or in the main?
Um, over 15 years already.
See, 15 years, and you still get that local girl style, though. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I mean?
for sure. Like, and especially if I'm talking to Hawaii people, then you bust out the pigeon, right?
Oh, right, that comes heavy, especially in Vegas. Once they get off the plane, oh, right, and then once they get back on the plane, why, hello, sir, welcome. Let me know if you need anything.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, me and my sister we laugh about that all the time because like whenever I go visit her, uh, you know, of course when we see each other, it's like it's family, so even more, right? Um,
Right,
but her friends are like, when your sister's around, you're different. We just start laughing. It's like it's a
like,
Hawaii thing. If you're not from Hawaii, you're not gonna get it.
right, and you know who's from Hawaii too. You could be in a restaurant, you could be in Walmart. All of a sudden, you hear, "Knock it off!" Oh, you already know. You already know somebody yelling at their kids. "We'll leave you here. I swear to God, we'll leave you here." But yeah, so okay. So funny story is though, I go to Phoenix for Phoenix Fan Fusion. Great show, by the way. I know. Excuse me. I know they're getting a lot of flack because it used to be Phoenix Comic Con and blah blah blah, and they had to change the name because they got in trouble with San Diego Comic Con and anyway, but they treated us really well, and the people that came by, some of them they remembered me from when I was there 5 years ago, and they're like, "Hey, hi, Free, we've been looking for you for the past 5 years," and all this kind of thing, but I don't know why, but this guy comes up to my booth. He goes, "Dude, I could hear you from like all the way down the lane, and I knew you were from Hawaii. Like you're talking to all these white people, but I swear to God, dude, they probably think that you're from Thailand or something. But you can hear your pigeon." I'm like, "Really?" Because most of the time when I go to Hawaii, they're like, "Wow, you talk so howly."
Right.
But in the mainland, they think I'm talking like heavy pigeon, which I'm really not.
Uh-huh.
But they think I am. So I don't know. It was just a funny exchange. But who would have thought in Phoenix? So
Yeah, it's like I don't know. We find Hawaii people everywhere. Like even especially on a plane. I mean, well, it's not very many of us anyway. So
yeah,
you're going home. It's mostly all howlers. So when you see somebody else, like, hey,
Right, you showed a small shaka,
all right,
the
well, give
mini
me
shaka.
the head nod, you know.
Yeah, right. The nose like yep. Up. Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to go back to your comment where you said, like how you feel disconnected and stuff sometimes, and the art helps you feel like connected back home. I really like that because this is kind of like one of the reasons, for some of the projects that I work on too, especially my clothing line. Um, it was something to help me feel connected to home, and I know it's a lot of people, because of the conditions in Hawaii and the cost of living and the employment or underemployment, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of families, unfortunately, have to, move away from home, just to make it right. Especially with, bigger families and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I feel like it's just didn't really appreciate, I guess, our culture and our people until like I moved away and stayed away for a really long time.
Mm.
I really understood like how special it is, the community there, and just the way people are, and there's so many of us all over the country. Really, I mean, even in this
Yeah.
area, there's a pretty decent Hawaii community. So it's always nice to connect with other Pacific Islanders, not just from Hawaii, but I mean, there's a pretty decent Samoan community out here too, and a growing community from Guam and kind of stuff like that. So um, I think it's cool that even though we're from this little place in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, we,
Right.
we still find each other. Uh, Still trying to find the community and make you feel at home.
I know, right? Like this little island, 2,500 miles from everything. Like we're so spread over the world. I did a gig, like a DJ gig, for a month in Alaska, and I didn't realize that there's so many Hawaii people and Samoan people.
Yeah.
Like, like they work on I guess the gas lines or whatever, the oil lines.
Hmm.
Uh, and so there's a big community out there. And of course, when they see other islanders, they're like, "Hey, where you from? Vegas? Hey!" So, it's like, just come to my house, but no eat over here, dude. Shit, like
Yeah.
not good over here. Just come to my house. We'll go eat over there. I was like, for real? I was like, yeah, we'll go. And so, like there's an L&L's in Alaska, and people go there, like all the white people, but everybody else, like I guess they just cook it at home. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So the project is doing well. The campaign, I think we're up to 1,700 already, right?
1,700. I think we picked up, or we are at 49 backers now.
Wow.
And yeah, so if you guys are watching, check out the campaign. Let me drop the. Let me see if I can put the link up. Let's see if I'm
Put the
telling.
link up. There. Is that it?
Let me put it in the chat too. Check it out. All backers who pledge or put the order in during the campaign, we can spin the wheel. Spin to win. Spin the wheel to get bonus item with your book order. If you guys have questions for free, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I know we had one from Keaton Jones. I don't know if you know him. He's in California. He left a comment saying he wished he could have gone to Hawaiian Con. So Keaton, if you're still on, you definitely, there's a bunch of conventions in Hawaii, and you're not far. You're in Cali, so that would be a good place for you to go. I think what's the one in Oʻahu that's popular that you guys, Amazing, yeah?
Amazing, yeah, the Amazing Hawaii something. I don't know. You have to change it into like a whole different thing, but everybody just calls it Amazing Con or Amazing Hawaii. Even though it's called like Amazing Aloha, Hawaii, blah 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 con. But there's that. I think one of the up and coming popular ones is Comic Con Honolulu, because they're getting good guests now, and they're running it like how they're supposed to run it. With the Aloha spirit. It was a company before that was a mainland company that didn't know how Hawaii culture is.
Uh,
And so you know how that is. Like, you know, you try to come into somebody's backyard without permission, you're not going to get a good response. So, but now they're working with local Hawaii, I guess, managers and coordinators. So it's working a lot better. So Comic Con Honolulu, Hawaii Con. I don't know if Keithan is talking about the one on the Big Island, on the Kona side. That's run by Mike Sato and the whole group over there. He owns Enjoy Comics.
okay.
Yeah, he's helping putting that together. And it's I think they've had it going on for about 4 or 5 years now, but it's whole new structure now. So he's trying to put that show back together. And last year it was at a 5-star hotel. I got to stay in the hotel. The pool was like 2 degrees below your body temperature, so it was like perfect. I got to swim at manta rays. I mean, all kinds of stuff, man. It was like yeah, on the Big Island.
Oh wow.
And, yeah, it's one of those destination conventions where it's like, for example, if Jim Lee was there, he wasn't there, but if Jim Lee was there, you could go snorkeling with Jim Lee, or you can go skydiving with Frank Miller, or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever celebrity or that they had, and man, it was awesome. Like the food was great. The organizers were doing their best to really pump this up. They got the schools involved, which is good. So you have like 300 students and their parents, asking questions about how to get into the industry, how do you draw this, how you draw that. And so it was a really good show. I wish I could have gone this year, but finances, of course, you got to pick and choose where you go, right? So
absolutely, that's the hard part about
yeah,
convention season. We run in the same things, like, oh, which one should we go to? Everyone is different. My mom was with me at Kauai Comic Con, and she just, she hung out with me for the day, and she was kind of just getting the feel for it. She's like, "So how is this?" I said, I don't know, because every show is different, and this one is a new one, so you don't know what to expect. You just, put your best foot forward and see how it goes, and pay attention to what the attendees are looking at and what's catching their attention.
Yeah.
Like for us, definitely, I would bring more, which totally makes sense, more kind of local art, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, you gotta tailor what you're doing to the audience, wherever you at, because you can have amazing art on your table, but if the people that you're showing it to cannot relate and see themselves in it,
yeah,
then they're just gonna pass them by. And it's not a dig to you. It doesn't mean that you don't have skills. It's just you're not speaking to them,
Exactly. Like say for example for Hawaii, whenever I do a show in Hawaii, I'll have an exclusive with either Lilo and Stitch or Moana or a Hawaiian Warrior.
Yep.
Or something to connect with the people that are around me. Like if I brought Hawaiian stuff to New York, maybe I'll sell one, but I bring in the Hawaii stuff to Hawaii, I'll sell 100.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's just the market that you're in. But at the same time, like because I do a series, like for me, it's like a lot of people are like, well, okay, so I bought the Harlequin, but now I need the Joker, the Batman, this to fill my series up. And I learned that instead of doing one-offs for me, where it's like, oh, this just one Batman and that's all I'm doing. Now I do Batman, and then now I do Robin, and everything that connects to Batman. So that way, if you buy one, you got to buy them all because people, especially in our industry, in the comic industry, like we're all collectors. That's what we do. We collect stuff. So I figured that out early where it's like, okay, if you do Harlequin, then you got to do Poison Ivy and Catwoman.
Yeah.
That way you can triple your sales in just by doing those 3 instead of just one. But I don't know, like, okay, so speaking of Hawaii though, like a lot of times because I don't do Hawaii shows that often, I'll do good sales there. I'll do pretty well, with all the support that we get from our local Hawaii people, which is awesome. I love them, by the way. I don't know. So, But after a while, like they all have my stuff, right? Like they all have my series. So every time I go back there, I have to have new stuff, or
Right.
else they're gonna be like, well, I already have the 30 that you've already done. Like, you got anything new? So
Yeah.
now, so now I'm working on putting out different types of products like hats and shirts and bookmarks and trading cards, and like it's the same artwork, but now it's they can take it with them when they go on trips to
Yep.
wherever, and gotta play cards in the cabin. So I mean, little things like that.
Yep.
But yeah, I just think that what we're doing, especially you and John, and with the Burning Spear comics and everything, you guys are killing it. Like I saw the artwork that's in your books. Because I've supported your Kickstarters before.
Yep.
And man, the colors are amazing. Your inkers and your artists, whoever did. So does your penciler do the inks too?
Yeah. He's doing both. Mm-hmm.
He is amazing. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know where you got him, but man, you struck gold. So
Yeah. That's all John's magic. That's his baby. His he finds the team to work at for sure.
mm. so how did you find the artist though?
I want to say I think he found him. I know he looks on DeviantArt. Um, Google is your best friend. That's what I tell people. Like I
Yeah.
mean, it still takes obviously work, but um, I think he looks at ArtStation too, and I can't remember what else. But John's very picky, so he and I have very different work styles when it comes to artists. Because his is he's very like highly inspired by Todd McFarlane, right? So he made a big splash with Spawn at a time that wasn't really popular
Mhm.
to do so, but is really successful. So a
Well,
lot
yeah.
of John's influences come from Todd McFarlane. Um, so like he has a very specific like vision in his head about what he wants to do with with the Wildcard Chronicles and the surrounding books that will come out over time. Um, but the hard thing as with all of us with comics and projects and everybody doing a lot of different things at the same time is trying to maintain consistency in the team because the scheduling doesn't always work right, and
Yeah.
creating comic books is not like an overnight thing. It's a couple months that you're consuming an artist's time, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
not like a
Like
children's.
it's not as easy as people think.
Yeah,
Um, and I tell them there's like a 7-step process to create even just one book, because you have to have the writing and then the rewrite, and then you got to pitch to a penciler, maybe an inker, a
yeah,
colorist, a letterist. And then you got to put it together. You got to have an editor. You got to go to like you got to actually put it together. Like everybody's, oh, it's a comic book, so you just read the comics. Like, no, you got to do the cover. You got to do the inside cover. You got to do all the advertisements. You got to put it in the right order so that way your splash pages are lined up. 7 and 6 or whatever, or 6 and 7. So like all of these things go into the process of making comics. Nobody realized that,
no,
and how long it takes. And like after a while, they're like, oh, so you said you're gonna do a comic? Like it's been 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah. I got 4 pages done, bro. Well, actually, 2 weeks. I could probably get them out like 8 pages done, 8 or 9. But again, they think that it's like, dude, where's the comic at? I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me! It's been 2 weeks, bro.
right? Yeah,
But that's how it is.
and that was definitely like for me too. As a fan and a consumer of comics, is definitely a totally different perspective from
Mhm.
actually being a creator and a producer of these things. Especially if you're self-publishing, like it's not like you're working for a big house like Marvel or DC where you have like
Mhm.
you just do the art and they handle all that background.
Right? Like they have their own factory.
Like you're just a cog. Here we go. We take your thing, we plug it into our process. Boop, boop, boop. Here's a comic. Independent creators, all of you out there, hats off, shout out to you because Both of us here, we know it's not easy. It's what they call it, a labor of love, for sure. If
Right?
we didn't love it, we wouldn't be doing it. Trust me, because a lot of the times it's like, why am I still doing this? Oh, because I love it. Yep, that's right.
Oh, because I love it. Yeah, because it's fun when you actually see the product. But until then, it's all stress. But
It is.
like,
That's why it's like so important to work with a good team. Um,
mm,
in any project, really, the team is everything to me. Because there's times when I was like, oh, I mean, we all dealing with life too, right? There's holdups and setbacks that we don't even think about. It's just life hitting you, and it's like, oh man,
yeah,
it's coming up. Sorry, I cannot meet this deadline. I'm gonna try to do this. Like I feel like communication is everything with the team that you work with. It's just a lot going on behind the scenes that people just don't know. Because John says that all the time, like, oh, everybody's like, when's the next comic? And tell them keep waiting, like it's coming, Like,
please be patient. I appreciate your support. I'm glad you're asking. I'm glad that you're excited for it, but it takes a while.
yeah, it takes.
Again,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, again, if it's Marvel, if the artist doesn't hit the deadline, they got like 100 other artists that are willing to do it within the next 2 days. You know what I mean? And so they have that machine already built over the past 80 years, where they have all these resources. But when you're an independent, it's you, your creator, or like your writer, and your team that has to run this machine by themselves.
yeah.
And it nobody really realized that. But at the same time, even though you're frustrated, you're like, hey, just relax. We're trying to do it. You can't say that. You gotta be like, thank you for your support, because without you, honestly, without you paying your $5 or $10 for this book, I can't do it.
Right.
So, or if it wasn't for your support on Kickstarter or wherever, crowdfunding it is, I couldn't do what I do. If it wasn't for your patron and all that. So, yeah, you gotta be nice, but at the same time, you're like, I'm trying so hard, believe me.
But sometimes, I mean, I feel like people appreciate that, and because when you try to explain them like a little bit, okay, so here are some of the things that go on, boom, 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 they're like, oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. But at the same time, you're like, well, as a person that's putting out a product, you understand the frustration. It's kind of like going to McDonald's. Like, if your burger takes 15 minutes or 20 minutes, you're like, why does it take 20 minutes? Well, because we had to, like, you came at the wrong time when it's like we just got done with serving 300 people. We had to restock, or we had to defrost the meat and whatever. We're sorry that it took 15 minutes, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So I get it. Okay, so it's around 43 minutes so far. I gotta head out because I have to go to a softball game.
Good, right on.
But I'd love to do this again, honestly. I think this is a great thing.
Absolutely, we can do another one. Let's see. So before we go, where can people follow you online? Their social media and stuff like that.
On Facebook, it's Freak FREEK FLOW 808. So that you can check me out on Facebook on that. Same thing with Instagram and Twitter. Everything is all FREEK FLOW, including my email if you want to email me, whatever, portfolios, whatever. Freakflow808 at Yahoo. And also, I have Free Isabelo on YouTube channel. So you can look me up, Free Isabelo. I just put up my YouTube channel, and it's I'm putting up like tutorials and some like those sped up quick like drawings.
Yeah.
I did one for Mauna Kea, like the Mauna Kea. And so you can go ahead and check that out. And of course my Patreon. Patreon. I don't know. So I'm so old. I don't know how to get the money off of that thing. Like people are like, I got four patrons already, and I'm like, it's almost, it's the beginning of the month, so I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I told him, be patient. I'm old. I'm trying to figure out how to get the money so that way I can send you all your stuff. So that's it. I'm old.
Not that old. We got so many things going on. It's hard to keep up with all the details. I'm like, oh my God. All right. So Freak Flow on YouTube. Check out his Patreon. I'll put up links. I'll go search on it and put up links below in the comments. And for those of you who want to check out our project, it is Fishing Day with Papa Ray, currently up on Kickstarter right now. I'll put up the link again. Mahalo to everybody who has supported. I'll hang out for a little bit. I know Free has to go. But I'll hang out for a little bit to see if anybody else has questions. If anybody puts in orders tonight, I'll spin the wheel for a bonus item that you can get with your book. It's just our little way of saying mahalo for being our early supporters, because we really, without the Kickstarter support, it's really hard to raise the funds to publish our own work. So we appreciate you helping us to get our stories out there for our keiki and for the culture. Yep.
Okay. Also, I didn't tell anybody this yet, but I'm doing a special design right now. I'm putting it together so you can give it away for one of the prizes for that spin.
Wow.
So,
right.
Just letting you know.
Right. Okay. Let me add that to the wheel. Adding to the wheel on the fly. Okay.
Add a wheel.
Spin the wheel. Oh, I need to see this. Yeah. Freeze.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. I'm gonna tell them the free special. The Freak Flow
special. That's so special.
Apply changes. Right on. Okay.
Okay.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Right on. Mahalo. Thank you so much. Again, I love this. I love doing this. So let's do this again. Maybe next time, after people see the recording, they can put down some questions or whatever, and we can roll through those later.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Okay. Mahalo.
Okay.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Mahalo, Free, for joining us here on our live. See, we have some folks online. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Let's see. Let me check on our Kickstarter. See how we're doing. We have 49 backers. And we are at $1,717. Right on. So I'll try to pull up the wheel so you guys can see what we're talking about when spin to win. We did this over the weekend, and everybody had fun. So I thought it would be a good thing to bring it back. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Spin to win. Can I make that bigger? Let's see. There we go. So basically, let's see. I think we had one come in earlier. So Teresa is one of the backers who backed today. So we will spin for Teresa. Are we ready? Here we go. Right on. Teresa will get the Ghost Razor button. Let's see. So this is an exclusive that we had created just special for our project. Let's see. It is the promo art that we did for our comic book, The Wildcard Chronicles, but this is kind of like a precursor story called The Ghost Razors that we will be releasing in the future. And basically, to connect this to the current Kickstarter for our children's book, this is Comic Book Papa. So in the children's book, he's, you see him laid back, but this is his character that he inspired for our comic book series too. So Teresa will get this. I will write it down now. Teresa is backer number 49. And Ghost Razor button, so that when it comes time to fulfill all of the orders, I can make sure that everybody gets all the extras that we promised. All right. Who's with us? Who's with us? Who's online? I see 4, maybe more. So Teresa, they put some stickers on these things. So, you know, managing all the moving parts. I'll put a sticker so that we know who that belongs to. So I'll show you guys some of the things that are on the wheel. The button was one of them. We also have the print. So this is the print version. I think this one is a 6x9 glossy of the Ghost Razors promo art. I really like the detail in this. This one is created by Barry McLean, and it's a lot of different aspects that gone into creating the character. So you can see here the Ali'i cape. We have like I don't know if this is like a bone weapon, but you can see it's not guns. These are like our native weapons. Behind you can see is this with the bright eyes. I don't want to tell a story, but you can see the the Hawaii influence here with the Mahi'ole type helmet. And it's basically a close up of the character. And then behind is Mempatir Montes, who is the heir or the reigning king of the House Montes in our comic book. And so you can get a chance to get this beautiful art here. Another one that's on the wheel is our Aftermath print. This is done by DJ Kiavekane from our artistic team. He's from the Big Island of Hawaii. He did this special for me for the short story that I wrote in an anthology that was published earlier this year. So I really wanted this one to be a woman. The story is about somebody who's overcoming difficulties. And I really wanted to be like a strong woman with a lot of hints and nods to our ancient Ali'i and our ancient chiefesses. So you can see she has the Ihe spear, and she also has her the word is escaping me right now of this, but basically our chiefesses wore these as like symbols of their mana. And you can, I don't know if you can see here, but the hair, initially he had it like kind of straight hair, but I really wanted to be to accurately reflect like what it's like to be, for a Hawaiian woman to have all of her hair out and, as we call it in Hawaii, the bushy look, or the hula hair, the Merry Monarch hair. So in this picture, she's facing a storm, and she's being strong throughout it. So that's kind of reflects the theme of the story that I wrote. Another thing that's on the wheel is our Cali print. This is a concept art that was done for our comic, The Wildcard Chronicles. Cali is actually my character. Yay! This one was done by Mohammed Agbadi, amazingly talented young men. So they did a lot of our concept art for our comic book series. And then we also have stickers by our amazing team. Free, who was just on tonight. He did the line work for these. So let me show you. I'm going to take them out the plastic so they're not shining, hopefully. So Free did the line work. We were talking a little bit about it tonight. And then the colors on this one was done by Chris Koanui, who we will be talking with on Thursday evening. So that will be awesome. And the other version of the art, like I said, I had 2 colorists working on this. The next one was done by Napua Ahina. So it's really cool. You can see the differences. It's the same sketch, the same drawing, but we have 2 different perspectives on the color. So really cool. I love how you can take one piece and really, put your stamp on it. And then we have the button. So There we go. Those are some of the items on the wheel, and then of course, Free added he added tonight on while we were live, added his own special art onto the wheel. So if you go ahead and go to the link that's up online, you can check out our project. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick and walk you guys through it a little bit. Because I know Kickstarter is new to a lot of people. A lot of folks have reached out to me like, "Hey, I'm not really sure how to put my order in. I'm interested, but I am a little bit confused by the options." So let's see if we can switch the screen to try this. Let's see. Remove that. Share screen. And let's do a different tab, which is where. Oh, see that. Okay, yep. So you can see Fishing Day with Papa Ray. This is what you will see if you click on the link that's on your on your page. You'll get this one here. Oh, we got our 50th backer. Mahalo. So here you can see we got 50 backers. We are now at 1776. Thank you so much. Let's go see who the backer is. Let's see. We will spin for you shortly. Nia, mahalo sis. Thank you so much, Nia Bradley, my sister. Nia's in Florida. I'm somebody else who has a love for Hawaii. So anyway, before I get distracted by that. Anyway, if you click on the link, Fishing Day with Papa Ray, the story is the adventures of Nakoa and Nohea. It's going to be a series. But in this story, Nakoa and Nohea unlock a treasured family secret and learn the importance of kindness and community. So you can see we have 50 backers. We're at 1776. It would be awesome if we can hit 1800. Let's see. If you would like to place your order, you would hit this green button, back this project. I can't do it because it's my project. But it will take you below and it'll show you the options here on the right-hand side. And the one, if you want just the book, the one you want to choose is this one right here. Pledge $29 or more for the autograph hardcover. So you would get a hardcover copy of the book. I will sign it personally. So that's something really special. That's always nice, especially with self-published projects. It's a nice thing that I like to do as I'm supporting other projects as well. It's really cool to get the author to sign it for you. You'll also get, as part of this, the digital ebook and then the digital party kit, which has just some cool activities that you can take on the road. And then there's a lot more that you can choose. Here on the left-hand side, you can read more about the project, like what inspired it, why I wrote it, and why I am doing it, why I feel this is important. A lot of you know about my dad, so I talk about that a little bit. And then I really love this quote here in Hawaiian, "A'ohe hana nui ke alu ia." No task is too big when done together by all. So everybody who is a part of this project, who is pre-ordering, is really, really helping to make this project become a reality. Because really, it takes it takes everyone supporting every little bit. Is really important, even if you don't know it. So thank you so much. I'm really, really appreciative of that. And then below, you can see some of the art from the book, some that you guys may have seen online. The concept art, the interior art. My illustrator is working really hard. We're hoping to have the book finished, the art finished by the time the campaign is over. So we'll see how that works out on our time frame, and then we'll go to editing and layouts. And there's still more work to do, but we're hoping to have the bulk of the art done by the end of the month, by the time the project is complete. So a little bit about some things that people who have already read the book. Well, as part of my editing process, I had some other authors take a look at the book, give me their thoughts, feedback, changes, things like that. It's really important as you're, especially when you're writing, to have someone else read your story with fresh eyes, and then of course, depending on the level of reach where you want your book to have, to also hire, let's like somebody who's professional to help you out as well. Here you can see this is an insight into Free's creative process. So you can see the first images I got, it's just a sketch and you can barely see it. It's just like laying out the characters on the page and kind of like a vision for what he has in mind. And he showed this to me, asked me like if this is cool, if this is like what fits the vision that I had, and if any changes needed to be made. So usually in this process, this is where you can give feedback to make sure it's it's what you want. Because once you go to ink, you can see it's when things become more permanent, and it's harder to make changes as we go along, especially if you're working in physical, like paper and pencil. If you're working digitally, it's a little bit easier because you can separate things out into layers and edit the layers as you go along. But if you're using pencil and paper and then scanning in, that becomes, making changes can be a little bit more cumbersome, I think, but it's still doable. And then we can see Chris Koanui's colors onto the piece. And of course, Napua's colors here, which is part of the stickers that you can get. And then of course the team that's working on the book, on different aspects of it. Every single member is super important. And let's see, at the bottom, we have visual representations of the reward levels. So this one here is the one you want to get, the $29. You'll get the physical book, the digital ebook, and the activities that I mentioned earlier. So we also have other options. So you guys can take a look through that. But right now, I'm going to go back to the wheel. Let's see, can I go back? I think I have to stop it again. It'd be nice if we could just switch tabs like. All right, so now we're gonna spin for Nia. You ready, Nia? Thank you. Mahalo. Mahalo, mahalo. Let's see. Ready? Here we go. Woohoo! Nia gets sticker B. So that's the art with Napua's coloring. So let's see, switch it. So Nia will get this one. Yay! Bonus item. Cool, cool, cool. Let me write that down too. Nia number 50. Mahalo, sis. Variant B sticker. Okay, so I'll put this on too. B sticker. I have to put like some kind of Ziploc so that I know the ones that are already spoken for don't get mixed up with the rest. Let's see. Yeah. Awesome. Mahalo. Thank you, Nia. Let's see. She says she loves the drawing. Yes. I love it too. It's so cute. And I'm probably gonna put that on shirts. So we'll see. I gotta play around with some of those ideas, and we'll see. I'll share it with you guys. See what you guys think. The comments and feedback that I got from everyone over the weekend on the backpacks was super helpful. I did choose navy on the project page. So if you would like to check out the Team Nakoa backpacks and the Team Nohea backpacks for your kids. We added a backpack bundle, which is really fun. Basically, you'll get a backpack and a book, and the digital book and all that fun stuff. And it'll be a cool item. I'm probably gonna get a backpack. I still need to make the Team Papa backpacks, so lots of things to to experiment with and see what you guys like. So I appreciate all the feedback that has been coming, because it's really helping me to shape the project and see how we want to take it forward. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so we got the spin for Nia. So I think I'm going to end the video for now. Feel free. I hope you guys enjoyed the replay. If you're watching this on a replay later on, I had a really good time talking with Free. It's always nice to connect with the Hawaii community, no matter where we are. And it's always nice to talk to you guys. Thank you guys for your time and for being a part of tonight's broadcast. Our next artist highlight will be on Thursday evening, same time. We will be talking with Christopher Koanui. He is the creator of Night Marcher. So that's going to be a fun one as well, because I have his comic, Night Marcher, and I really enjoyed it. It's a great book. And I look forward to talking to him more about that and the project that he's working on. So stay tuned for that. Thursday, September 12th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 5:30 p.m. West Coast and 2:30 p.m. Hawaii. And just like tonight, we will be recording this for later playback. And we'll be adding it to our YouTube channel and our podcast and other things that we have going on in the future. So thank you so much again for joining us. The Adventures of Nakoa and Nohea and Fishing Day with Papa Ray, live on Kickstarter. Click the link below. You have 2 hours and 15 minutes. If for all orders that are placed before midnight tonight, we will spin the wheel for you, and you'll get a bonus prize. So I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Malama pono. Ahui ho.